What's up? Lazy Ass Loser here. It did not quite dawn on me the reality of the fact that these beta males in our society today, among certain social groups, are literally a toxic kind of energy that is a pulling down both men and women, because now some of them are unaware, but some of them are clearly aware of what they are doing based on my experience, and they are truly a toxic, their mindset and the way they operate is truly a toxic phenomenon, because their method for picking up women is the back door through friends method. So I love to get laid myself. However, this phenomenon I thought maybe could have been something that the pickup industry or the red pill industry just kind of generated in order to create some kind of belief so that men would be drawn to the industry to try to resolve that conflict, to be triggered by it and then attempt to resolve it. But what I found out that it is an actual real phenomenon, because I fucking had to experience that shit. See, I went a long time disassociating myself from these guys that act emasculated and feminine. I had met some back when the hipsters first became kind of like a thing. I met some hipster type guys, and they were really effeminate, you know. And at that time, I didn't know what a hipster was. I thought they were just like punk rock at the time. I was more familiar with a punk rock look because they kind of had this edgy kind of look when I first encountered hipsters, and I didn't even know what they were. But I just noticed those guys, they acted effeminate. They acted really feminine, and the ones that I particularly hung out with were actually a popular music group, and I'm not going to say which one. Now they've become pretty popular, but I ain't gonna say, but they're a Christian group, but they act very much like girls. I've never actually witnessed that or seen that, right? But I noticed they acted girly, and I had, you know, when I was 17, I got thrown out into the fucking real world. Shortly after that, I turned 18, and I had to go fucking work, and the only option I had, I was poor as fuck, and the only option I had was to go work around fucking blue collar hard ass motherfuckers, and it kind of, you know, I didn't really like it. I didn't like it. I wanted to be a boy. I wanted to be a teenager, but nobody taught me to step into manhood, except those experiences being around these manly guys taught me to be tough. You know, there's a part of me that's childlike, wants to be a kid, but there's a part of me that's tough at the same time. And to which I'm thankful for that experience, being around those guys, because it gives you tough skin. It gives you some fucking tough skin to where you get it. But these other guys, they don't get that experience. They go immediately from from high school to merging over into the adult world, you know, emasculated. They're just fucking, they go from being a little boy to sipping lattes with the girls, you know what I mean? So they like women, but because they are not they're not taught to become men, they have to, some of them have to try the passive approach to getting with women. So they become their friend, and they become but they secret, like the dude I know, he had this plan. And without going into the whole story, but he had this plan, and he told me the whole fucking plan about how he was going to use psychological sexual strategies to put the idea of sex in her mind, in this girl's mind, instead of motherfucking being up front with the girl, you know what I mean? Instead of just being, just flirting with her. And he didn't, without going into all the details about how flirting and all that shit works, and when you see a girl and you know, and it's playful and it's cool, it should happen naturally. You should have this sense of presence and just confidence, a masculine confidence, and just be in the moment, right? But see, these little hipster dudes, they can't do that. They're this one dude, he was anyway, so he couldn't just be upfront with a girl. At least I'm going to be upfront with a girl. So he couldn't do any of that. So he's done this whole backdoor approach. And currently, okay, first he hated this girl. This girl he actually hated. Long story, but he hated this girl. He saw me flirting with her and he wanted to one-up me on this situation. So what he did is he started, and then he told me his techniques that he was using behind the scenes to get her into bed. And this was to one-up me. And so then he spent 5 hours with her talking overnight. And his objective was to get in her fucking pants, a girl that he hated. Within 2 days, dude flip-flopped, and became suddenly infatuated with her. And then the rest of the story, he is love addicted. He developed an extreme love addiction. And then he plastered my fucking name all over the place pretty much and made me out to be some, predator, when in fact he is the predator. And he used that sneaky method to portray, because when you're masculine, they want to portray you out to be some kind of, that you have evil objectives, when in fact they're the ones that have the fucking evil objectives. That's cast a light on the reality of the fact of how these feminine and beta fucks genuinely are a toxic energy that's going to affect men and women both in a bad way, and we got to fucking do something about it.